Greetings, this is just going to be another quick video. Not something I had planned on doing necessarily, but I got one of the new Xbox 360s a few weeks ago, and apparently some viewers noticed that it was in my recent video of Astro Driller and asked my opinion on it. So instead of sending annoying emails or lengthy comments, I decided I would just do a really quick video and show you what's different. And to give you my opinion on whether or not the new 360S is worth buying, or whether or not you should just stick with your regular 360 or go ahead and get one of these now that they're super cheap. Now obviously the biggest difference between the two is going to be the look of the thing. This one, what they're calling the 360S, is the 250 gigabyte model, the only one that's out right now. Some places are calling it the Elite, which I guess makes sense because it's black, which the Elites have always traditionally been black, and it's the larger hard drive. Apparently they're coming out with an arcade version that's going to be, I think, 4 gigabytes here in a couple of months. And this one right here I got, I don't know, I think it's a 2008 model, 20 gigabyte hard drive. This is my second one that I've had. My first 2007 model died, red ring of death, and I just transferred the hard drive over. So as far as sizing goes, really it's not any slimmer, maybe a quarter of an inch. Let's call it the short, I suppose. They're actually, it's a little bit smaller. The biggest difference though, as far as external design, would be the addition of this big fan here on the side, and it's deadly quiet. We'll get to that here more in a minute. Whereas in the older 360, you have some ventilation. It's kind of mostly on the sides. I think there's one down here too. And then you have the hard drive up here on top. The new 360S has a hard drive here on the bottom. I think you just take this bottom vent off. There is a $20 transfer cable that you can get from Microsoft to hook the old hard drive up to the new one and just transfer everything over that way. But it's a one-time thing, so all I did was take a USB stick and put everything on there through the memory manager thing, and then put it to my new one. Everything went fine. All my licenses were fine. You'll also notice that there is now no memory card slots. The USB area is slightly different. Instead of horizontal, it's now vertical, which kind of makes sense because I like it. And the new disk drive is not button based. Well, it is, but it has a capacitive touch sensitive button, and also the power button is the same way. On the back, most everything is the same. You have Ethernet here and here, HDMI, USB slots. Now there's 3 on the back instead of just 1, which is a nice addition, I suppose, although I don't know why they didn't put them on the front. You also now have the optical audio output already built into the console itself without having to use the one that's in that iffy component cable thing. When the Kinect comes out this fall, the motion sensing peripheral, you also now have a port for that right here on the new Xbox. You can still use it on the older ones, you'll just need an external power supply to do so. One big change though, and this is interesting, I don't really know why they did it, the AC adapter port at the bottom of the console there, you'll notice the one on the right, the old 360, is sort of more square shaped, and the new one has a circular end piece. See, this here is the older style AC adapter that kind of looks like a off-brand Lego brick, and this is the new one, which looks like an oversized PS3 end piece. Well, PS2, PS1, same thing as always. It's more rounded. I really have no idea why they changed this at all. You can also see that the power supplies themselves are different sizes. This is the newer one here, and the older one. So it's not quite as big of a brick anymore. It still is a brick, but I've noticed that it does seem to run a little bit cooler, and that's really a huge thing with these new ones. Apparently the power consumption on the newer 360 is something like a third or a half less, I don't know. It depends on what your older 360 was. This one was already a slightly newer chipset, so it was a little bit lower, and I think this one uses, what, the 45 nanometer process or something like that, where it runs a whole lot less power and also a little bit cooler. So less chance of overheating, plus the new fan and ventilation setup should help that as well. Also, while I've got this laying like this here, you can see that the new 360 has a very nice piano black style glossiness. A lot of people seem to be complaining about the fact that it's fingerprint prone. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't touch my 360 very much. I'm not one to violate my consoles at night or get it drunk and start feeling it up in inconsiderate fashions. I don't press the power button to turn it on. I do like the nice etched logo that's in the new 360 as well on the side. It's the little things that count. You can see a couple of fingerprints maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you can see fingerprints, but really it's the same exact frickin' thing with like every device now. So I really don't see what the big deal is. There's also a very minute change in the controllers. Obviously the new one is black like the other Elites were, but instead of the older sort of nickel brushed aluminum finish dashboard button right here, the new one has a nice chromy look to it. You also have that nice cutout logo saying Xbox 360 there now, instead of it saying Microsoft. The actual thing itself feels pretty much identical. The only thing tactile that I feel that's different is down here. It's now glossy and smooth instead of all the other ones where it was gray and not as smooth. One last major difference that the new 360 really provides: built-in Wi-Fi. Now with the older 360, this was a very commonplace thing, the Ethernet jack. This is a frickin' pain if you've got a billion other systems that need this thing, and then you have to plug it back in here every time you want to get online. Plus the Wi-Fi itself costs like $100-something for a stupid little 802.11g adapter. With this one you don't have to worry about that, and plus it's upgraded to 802.11n. I don't have a router right now to take advantage of that, but really it's making me think about it because I'm thinking about upgrading my desktop to it now after seeing how well this performs on an 802.11 network elsewhere. Now I do have a couple of gripes with the thing. One big one is the cord that it comes with. This is a standard composite connection with RCA plugs. No anything useful about it. This is for hooking up to an old school CRT TV, and if you've got that, that's fine, but I don't. Originally my Xbox 360 Pro and the other Elite Xboxes that have come out before this came with component cables. The Elite even came with HDMI at one point, but now for the same price as those other ones, it comes with this piece of crap. Thankfully I already had HDMI and component cables to use for this, but if I didn't, that's an added expense. It does come with a headset, even though it's not wireless. It doesn't come with any new batteries. It doesn't come with any bundled games at this point. Really, it could have done a lot more just judging by the previous Elite and Special Edition packs that you would get for $300. I wish it came with more. It doesn't. I don't know if that's really a complaint. It's more of just an observation. Well, I mentioned that the newer one is much quieter, so I'm going to try to demonstrate that here. This is the older 360 model. Older tray. Whoop-de-doo. If that were in 3D, that would have looked totally rad. And here we have the newer model. Yeah, it's really hard to hear. It's actually about on par with what my PS3 is. Also, you'll notice that weird little sound that it makes at the start. It's pretty cool. The new drive also has a different sound and a cool little bleepy sound. Yeah. It's not quite to the microwave level sound effect as the PS3 has when it starts up or opens discs and stuff like that, but you know, it is what it is. It lets you know when you're pressing the button, so it has its job, I guess. One other good thing I've also noticed while using the new 360 is that when you're working around in the dashboard and you're flipping through a lot of stuff or going from, say, the arcade marketplace to your whatever, different areas in the dashboard, it seems to run quite a bit quicker. You used to get maybe a second or two of lag in between sections with the older one. With this one, I have not noticed that at all. It's very small, but it's noticeable to me because I kind of abuse menu systems. So is the new 360 worth buying or not? As of now, the retail price is pretty much what all the others have been, $299 for a 250 gigabyte model. The reason I got one is because I think it looks awesome, and the fact that I was going to sell this one to somebody that needed one, so I'm going to give them a good price and then put the money towards this one. So it made sense for me. This one was an older model. It's a 20 gigabyte model. It didn't have built-in Wi-Fi. It's a lot louder. It runs hotter. There's the chance of a red ring, I guess. And then of course there's the awesomeness factor and all the other little things that this new one has. So for me it made a lot of sense. If you have an older 360, need all these new features, you haven't upgraded your hard drive or bought the Wi-Fi adapter, yes, get it now. Sell your old one. If you have invested a lot in your older 360 with a bigger hard drive, Wi-Fi, things like that, you might want to think twice about it because you're not really buying much else by getting a new one other than the fact that it's glossy. So, new Xbox 360S. Pretty friggin' sweet in the right situation.